Okay, I'm recording. So I had a question in reference to chapter 6, question 4. So I'm going to go ahead and just videotape this and go forward into YouTube. I'm going to put all my stuff on YouTube now, just a reminder. And if you found it, you know I am on YouTube. Okay, so here we go. I've got my instructions. This is my chart of accounts. This is for my inventory. They want me to journal and they want me to ask, they got my final questions. Okay, so let's get going. So here we go. We know we have beginning inventory at Midnight Supplies and data on purchases and sales for a 3-month period ending March 31st are as follows. We got inventory, we got a purchase, we got a bunch of sales here. Another purchase, some sales, purchase, sale, purchase, sale. FIFO, first in, first out, perpetual inventory. Double check this when you're doing your homework. Make sure you know the cost flow assumption and which inventory method you're using. Is it perpetual or periodic? So pay attention to that. They mean two different things. So let's go ahead and get this information entered. On January 1st, we had beginning inventory. So notice they don't have any way I can put anything in here on January 1st. That means I only need to put in this balance. So this balance, I know I'm going to make you dizzy, 2,500 at 64 for 160,000. I already forgot it. There we go. Nice and gorgeous. Okay, and you can double check that just to make sure that's true and correct, but the book tells us it is, so we're going to believe the book. And then they had an additional purchase on January 10th of 7,600 at 72, and I'll go find the other number in just a second. And so I have to come all the way down here. Where is it? There we go. Now, again, what I really want you guys to think about in reference to these purchases, I want you to think about the color of the badge. And I'm going to call them badges. They're not technically batches, but we're going to call them batches because it helps us think about these. 547,200. Oh, couldn't get that in there. 547,200. There we go. Now, it wants me to come over here and it wants me to enter the data in for the inventory. And remember, when I was doing my problems in the classroom, it said, we keep these, pretend this is a yellow batch and this is an orange batch. We have to keep these batches separate because we're tracking the number of units at what cost. So let me come back down here so I can see everything. 64. And that's 160,000. Give it one more zero. And that was how much? 7,600. I didn't want to move over because I'm being lazy. 72 at 547,200. Okay, so there we go. Remember, this is our yellow batch and this is our orange batch. I need to keep them separate so I can track this quantity at this unit cost. So let's come on up here to the next one. The next three are sales. First one is 3,700. Don't worry about this $128. That's how much we sold it for, okay? We don't care. We don't care. It's not important right now. It will be later. But right now, we're looking at cost. We're not looking at sales price. 3,700. I sold 3,700 units. First thing I'm going to do is go, well, that's too much up here. Look at this. I only have 2,500 units at 64. So let's come back over here and put 2,500. And remember, we sold 3,700. So that means I need another 1,200 I need to track. Together, they're 3,700. Okay, so at 64. And this one is at 72. So now I have no more yellow batch. It's gone. The only batch I have is orange. That is the only cost I have. Now I'm also going to have to come over here to a handy dandy calculator. Let's go to all apps and find my calculator. There it is. Okay, 1200 times 72. 86400. Okay. Now, what do I have left? What I'm going to do is I've already used up all that 2500 at 64. So the only inventory I have left is the orange batch. I've used 1200 units at the 72. So what do I have left? I've got 6,400 at $72. Bring up our handy dandy calculator, clear it out. I don't know why I do that. That's just a bad habit. 6,400 times 72, 460, 800. Okay, there we go. Now, I know we have another cell. We've got a couple more cells after that. Okay, so we've got that cell done. Now we've got a cell at 1400. So I'm going to come over here, put my 1400 in. And it's going to be at a cost of 72. That's the only cost I have. I only have the orange batch left. And I'm going to put 1400. And I'm going to subtract it from the 64. That's going to give me 5,000 at 72. Now let's see what those totals are, because I don't want to do it in my head. I don't want to do it in my head because I can't add when I think I can. Okay. Oops. See, I already did it wrong. 72. 100. Okay. Now let's do the 5,000. Now I could just turn around and go 360 because I can actually take that. But we're going to double check because we all know that when I think I can add well, I don't add well. Okay. Yay. Your teacher can add today. February 5th, we sold 500 units. Again, the only batch I have left is the orange batch. And so that's going to be 4,500 at 72. And let's go ahead and do some addition. $36,000. And then we're going to subtract it from up here. So that's going to be 324. Okay, double check my addition because we know that when I think I'm right, I'm not. 324. Okay, good. Okay, coming up here. We're going to have this one right here. We purchased 18,500 units at 74. Okay. I can go in here. Let's find out how much that is. $1,369. Okay. So then I'm going to have to come over here. Now, so we have the yellow batch. We're done with it. We have the orange batch. Let's make this one red. Okay, just for fun. So we know that was 18,500. I'm doing this so I don't forget, okay? Okay, so that's the red batch. Now we need to bring down that orange batch too. At 72 for 324. Okay, that one's going to be 1,369. Yay. Okay. Looks like we're going to sell some units here because I can see it happening right here. Okay, so on February 10th, we sold 18,000. Oh, wait, no, we purchased. Okay, so the 16th, we sold 8,900 units. Okay, then the other one is 85. So we sold 8,900 units. First thing I need to get rid of is I need to get rid of that orange batch at 4,500. However, we sold 8,900 units. So the difference is going to come out of our red batch. So that's going to be, what did we say, 8,900 units? So that's going to be 4,4. Okay. Going to use up all of that at 72. Guess what? That's going to be 324. And then I have this amount of units, 4,400 at 74. $325,600. Okay, great. I have used up 4,400 of the red batch, so that leaves me with 14,100 at 74. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do the handy dandy calculator again. 14,100, and I'm going to multiply that times 74. 1,043,400. 043,400. Okay. So I know we have another sale in here before we have another purchase. So on the 28th, we sold another 8,500. I only have one batch to pull from. $629. Okay, so I'm going to subtract that 8,500 from the 14,100. Equals 5,600. Go ahead and punch that in there. Times 74 equals 414,400. Double check, make sure I read that right. Yep, I did. That's 74. Okay, let's go purchase some more fun stuff. So our next one is another purchase on March 5th. We're almost done with this portion. March 5th, 15,000 at 75.60. Okay, I'm gonna come up here and grab their number because I don't want to think. 1134. Okay, over here, I need to carry down that red batch, 5,600 at 74. $414. And then how many at this one? 15,000. Okay, we've already done a yellow, an orange, and a red. Let's make this batch a green batch, okay? And so that's going to be 1134. Okay. Now, what did we sell? We sold 10,000 units. Again, first out, first out, first in, first out. I got to get rid of that 5,600, that red batch first. So that means in order to finish this up, this one needs to be 4,400 units at 75.60. This one at 74. Okay. 414,400. This is because we're using up all the batch. I know that that's going to be the number. Now this one, I'm going to have to do some addition. So let's do our handy dandy addition. So I'm going to go 4,400 times 75.60. 332,640. Okay, subtract the 4,400 from the 15,000. This is our green. Okay, so that's going to be 10,600. And at 75.60. Now I can subtract the 332,640 from this, or I can do it on the computer with the calculator. And guess which one I'm choosing? Minus 332,640. 801,360. Okay, so that's what's left of my green batch. I don't have a yellow batch, I don't have an orange batch, I don't have a red batch anymore. I've used all of those up. All I have is my green batch. So we have one more sell, or one more purchase, excuse me, and then we have one more sell. 3,300 is 76. You guys just don't know how much fun I'm having. 2, 5, 50, 80. 250,800. And everybody's going, no, Professor Do, don't have that much fun, but I can't help it. I must. Okay. This one has 10,600 remaining. I'm going to tab over so I can see everybody. 75.6. This is the green batch. 801,360. And this is going to be our new batch. 76. And that is going to be 2,550, 800. Makes me so happy. Last cell. 7,650. Okay. First one in, that's that green. This is blue. First one out is green. So we need to use that cost first. Now I've just already forgot what the number was, 7,650. Okay, at 75.60. $578,340. Okay. Now I'm going to take that 7,650, subtract it from the 10,600. $2,950. And this is 75.60, 75.6. And this one is going to be, I can't remember what it is, 3,300. Tab at 76, which we'll move over in just a sec. Okay. That's going to be 250,800. This one up here is going to be times 75.6. 223,020. Okay. How much is my inventory? Well, I have two batches left. I have the green and the blue. If I add these two up together, $4,738.20. If I had done this on Excel, it would be a billion times faster, and I could add up the information they want us to add up. So here, they want us to add up the total cost. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get out the handy dandy, and I don't have a 10 key, so you guys are gonna have to forgive me. I'm gonna do this by hunting and pecking. 160,123 plus 86,400 plus 100,800 plus 36, 324, 325, 600, 629, 414, 332, 640. And 578,340. 2987,180. 2987,180. Okay, excellent. Okay, so that's beautiful. It's wonderful. Now here's the part that's also, here's another one that we're going to have to look at. Up here in the instructions, and this one I may just throw out my goofy calculator because I don't want to think. And I may just open up my Excel file. And it's just going to be easier for me. Okay, whoops. Go back. And move it right about here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into every one of these cells. Now I know I have 3,700 units here at 128. Now the reason why I think it's going to be easier for me to do it this way is because we change prices here a couple of times. Well, just once, but it's still, we're changing prices and we're changing quantity quite a bit. 1,400, and then this is 500. Okay, so all of these are at 128. So I'm just going to drag those puppies down. I'm also going to do this. And so I'm also going to go and drag that down. So how many more cells do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 3 more cells. So I just need to worry about these two right here. Oh, goodness, I'm getting frightened.
Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning to you too, lovely lady. Okay, my bestie. Okay, guys. Okay, so 8,900. 8,500. And this is my bestie that works at she's making fun of me. This is my bestie that works at Safeway Albertsons that I talked to you guys about, how she has this really cool job where she has to go in and bill for product placement at the grocery store. So that I've known for a long time. Let's just say a long time. Okay. I'm also going to turn around. I'm going to use the magic key. I'm going to go ahead and increase that to full screen so I can put that magic E in there. I'm going to put an underline so we know that I did a function. And so that gives us that information. So let's go back down to that journal item. That journal item wants us to determine the total sales and the cost of goods sold, make it for March 31st. So if I remember correctly, and I do, sales are on account. Account means either accounts receivable or accounts payable. This was sales. So it has to be accounts receivable. And so what is going to be my debit? Well, my debit is going to be that these people owe us 5,378,450. 5,378,450. Okay. Well, this is no fun. I just lost my March 31st. That's okay. I'll fix it. And accounts receivable. Now I need my lovely dandy offsetting entry. That's going to be sales. Okay, 5,378,400. Am I in balance? Nope. 450. Okay, make sure I'm in balance now. Looks good to me. This one here is going to be my cost of goods sold. Okay, I'm going to come over here. Right there's my cost of goods sold, 2,987,180. Okay, out the door went my inventory. Let's see what they call this inventory. If they're going to call it just okay, they're not calling it merchandise inventory. See my friend here, she was standing by me still. She would have argued with me and said, that's not inventory, it's merchandise inventory. And I said, I know. But these crazy textbooks are changing our terminology on us. Okay, so there's our journal. Now it wants to know the gross amount of profit from the sale. So what I can do here, this is my sales. So I'm going to write sales on here. This is my COGS, not COTS, COGS. And it's 2,987,180. 180. My gross profit is going to be plus that sales minus our cost of goods sold is 239,170. Okay. What's the ending inventory? Well, you know what, guys? It's up here. 473,820. Okay. Okay, they're saying it should be lower. If I'm wrong, just do your check my work. And if it says I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But there you go. That is how you do chapter 6, problem 4. So again, I'm putting this up in YouTube. So if you're watching it on a friend's computer, remember, you too can use YouTube.